Welcome to whatever this is. A comedy special, a memoir filmed on an iPhone, a therapeutic process to nurture my inner child, entertainment. Look, I was one of the people who, during the pandemic, left the city to go quarantine with my family on their bucolic farm. I lived with my parents, my younger brother, 2 horses, 2 dogs, which later became 4 dogs, and I lived to tell the tale. And I learned some things along the way too. I wrote, filmed, and agonized over this comedy special in the same bedroom where I wrote and agonized over high school. I put a lot of work into this. I cried a lot, laughed a lot, and learned a lot. So I hope you like it. And if you did live with your parents, or you're still living with your parents as an adult, you're not alone. We all belong to the same special club, which involves losing track of our age and interests, resisting every urge to text our ex-boyfriends from high school, and taking therapy calls from closets. What started like this got to this. Before you worry, even though you can't see it, I'm currently wearing pants with only a few small holes, so I turned out okay. Step into my journey of what it's like to be an adult living with adults that used to change my diapers, and sleeping in a bed that I slept in from ages 13 through 18, now in my 30s. Full disclosure, this is the first time I've done something like this, so please be patient if the sound quality isn't exactly... There's a quote by the late American spiritual teacher, psychologist, and author Ram Dass. If you think you're enlightened, go spend a week with your family. Well, I lived with my family for over a year, and I'm still not levitating. Though I haven't necessarily gained consciousness while living with my family, I lost consciousness almost 3 times. That's gotta count for something, right? Yes, I lived with my parents for over a year, starting early in the pandemic. First, I lived with them at their house, the home I used to live in back when I was rocking pimples, puppy in my pockets, and posters of O-Town. For 8 months, I stayed in my childhood bedroom, where I'm sitting right now. This is the same room where my favorite t-shirt and virginity was lost by my high school friends, because I was terrified of sex until I was 27. Let's be real, thanks to a pandemic, still. And I did really faint, literally. In the wee hours of the night, I got up to go to the bathroom, and on my way back to my room, I hit the floor. You may be thinking, Mary, that's not funny. That's terrifying. Yeah, well, I also lost control of my bowels and soiled my pants, so it's funny and terrifying. It's not like my brother is going to hold that over my head for the rest of my life. Hi everyone, Mary here, and I want to tell you an important story. You can have a job, be in your 30s, and still live with your parents. Yes, it's called COVID. You can be an adult and even have a job. That doesn't matter, prepare sucks. It's not about money or even the free meals. It's that in-unit laundry and the hugs for reals. COVID, 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 COVID. You used to have friends and you'd see them every day, and now your friends are horses and you feed them hay. You thought you were done with all that high school stuff, but a one trip everywhere. You act like you don't care, but you really do. Cry some more, sitting on the loo. This time can't blame them on hormones or cell phones. Now this is your life thanks to COVID, 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 COVID. As you can see, COVID has turned me into a mediocre singer-songwriter. To reiterate, I lived there for 8 months, which is 8 months longer than I expected to live with my parents in my early 30s. 8 months is a long time. In 8 months, you can be considered a tax resident. In 8 months, you can build a baby. Well, maybe not you specifically, but a baby can be built in 8 months. Well, most of a baby can be built in 8 months. In 8 months, you can make 48 loaves of sourdough bread. In 8 months, you can listen to 102,068 Taylor Swift songs. Shake it off, shake it off. 8 months is also long enough to achieve the 3 R's, a psychological phenomenon that can happen to adults between the ages of 29 and 47. They include resurfacing childhood traumas, returning to childlike behaviors, and rediscovering teenage angst. In 8 months, you can walk across the country. That is, if someone will pick you up. 'Cause the play is gonna play, 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 and the hate is gonna hate, 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 hate. In 8 months, you can ride Splash Mountain 35,040 times. In 8 months, you can listen to All or Nothing, the hit song by the made-for-TV boy band O-Town, 83,428 times. 'Cause I want it all or nothing at all. In 8 months, you can get 30 college credits and spend over $15,000 getting said credits. There's nowhere left to fall when you reach the bottom. It's now or never. In 8 months, you can drive across the country 129 times if you don't stop. Shake it off, do, do, do. 8 months is enough time to find a lot of the important things I've saved throughout my childhood, like movie tickets, photos from prom, and basically every note I ever received during high school. Just watched a lot of Marie Kondo, and I'm going to use some of her techniques. First thing is to just get everything out and put it in a huge pile. I put the pile in the entrance and now I'm stuck in the closet. Marie Kondo, help me! I'm trapped by my own stuff. I found a way to step over my stuff. And as you can see, the pile has grown. Yeah, I thought I'd go through it and see what brings me joy and what I want to bring into my future. Gosh, I got this when I went to Patagonia. It's a bag I never used. This brings me joy. A quotable magnet. This little guitar. Sleeping bags for my beanie babies. A sandwich bag with USBs. Oh. I love this so much. It's a little spoon. I can't get rid of my beanie baby's clothes, like they'll be naked. It's not the years in your life that count, it's the life in your years. Who doesn't need honey in their closet? Remember Dare? This old time horse sticker book. Enjoy, enjoy. I made these cards with Vistaprint. This isn't an ad or a sponsorship, but Vistaprint, if you're out there, like, you could pay me for this. And I made one that has a soda bottle that says, "I think you're soda cute." And my genius plan with this was to hand these out to people that I was too shy to say hi to, but like thought they were cute, so I could hand them a card that says, "I think you're soda cute," to kind of break the ice. And if you're curious, like, wow, Mary, you did that as a child? How creative. No, I did it in my late 20s, and yeah, it is creative, thank you. Puns are the most joyful. Oh, this thing is a box full of joy. Oh my gosh, this flag. Someday my grandkids are gonna wanna see this. They're so cute. Look at all these hotel keys I saved. And if you're thinking, Mary, why are these hotel keys so memorable? Like, what happened in those hotel rooms? I will tell you. The Villanova men's basketball schedule for 2001, 2002. Yes, please. A name tag. How could I get rid of this? Okay, I've got this plastic bag, an old turtle sticker, shiny rocks, smooth rocks. This is a pretty rock, a really flat rock with a heart. Clearly, these are going in the joy pile. I put the plastic bag in a bin. Winning. Marie Kondo's tidying up. My freshman year photo ID. Get a close-up of that. Look at those highlights on the top of my edge and a little key. It's every Mary's Angel Christmas ornament that has ever been made. They were started the year I was born, and every year I get one as a gift. Saving. One of like many briars. I think it's worth saving. Toolbox with, you guessed it, beads. I can't fit this over my head. Look how good these concert photos are that I took. Wow, you can almost see that there's a person there. Touching it, all these medals. Oh my gosh, so much joy. Just a reminder that I could run that far is like, look how much I'm smiling. A peacemaker trophy? What? I think there's some dog food in here too. Madge, want me to save that for you? Huh, baby? Will it bring you joy? He says yes, he loves dog food. Always plastic. Joy, yep. We're keeping all this stuff, and here's what I'll be letting go of today and not bringing into my future. And thank you for these tools and techniques to help tidy my life and bring more joy into my life. After further consideration, I've decided to keep the hotel keys. They bring me joy after all. To better understand my upbringing, we really gotta start from the very beginning. That's a very good place to start. Let's start at the very beginning. A very good place to start. When you read, you begin with A, B, C. When you live with your parents, you begin with OMG, OMG, OMG. As a kid, I was shy and very sensitive. So shy, my mom told me the time she came to pick me up at daycare, and when she got there, I was standing at and staring out the window, holding a toy dinosaur, slowly and robotically tapping it while I stared into the abyss. It's sad until you realize that ability would later treat me well in the year 2020 when I found myself easily entertained by staring out a window and tapping a toy dinosaur. I was so shy, my best friends were dogs and horses. I was so sensitive that I'd feel guilty and hurt when said dogs and horses fell over or broke. Then I'd blame myself and take them to the imaginary vet hospital where I'd tape their legs back with masking tape and call it a cast. I was so shy and sensitive. Let's just say, this is how I used to handle anything I didn't like. That's how I survived. I ran from boys on the playground who would ask me to marry me with one of those 25-cent rings, you get from one of those machines. Or they'd give me paper that asked, "Will you be my girlfriend? Circle yes or no." I circled both. The irony is now I wish boys would chase me and write me love notes. Heck, I'd even be flattered by a 25-cent ring. But see, as an adult, I unlearned the walking on eggshells, tiptoe conflict avoidance that my child self clung onto. Heck, I lived in New York City. There, conflict is just another day on the subway. As an adult, I learned new ways of behaving. Instead of walking on eggshells, I compost them. Instead of swallowing my tears, they explode out of my eyes, especially in public places. Instead of running away from boys, I walk towards them and look directly at their left hand to look for any symbolic bling. As a newly trained adult now living in the home where I developed said child behaviors that I spent years unlearning, well, dishes in the sink? Ugh. Who left their laundry in the washer? Ugh. Why is this blanket not folded? Why is this carpet brown? How did this chair get here? Ow. Oh, who put my yoga block here? Oh, I did. Oops. It went well. Though I'd since left and learned new ways to cope with life's challenges, something about being back in my old stomping grounds stomped away my new ways of acting. Welcome back, teenage Mary. It's the weird combination of feeling like a child while also being an adult. One day, I'd be spending time doing exactly what I enjoyed when I was 6. Reading, spending time with horses, and playing pretend with Beanie Babies and toy animals. Then, the next day I'd be delivering a keynote speech at a virtual conference in front of thousands of people. This was all fine, as long as I didn't mix them up. Say yes, and then come up with new ideas. I like to eat honey. I like to go for long runs. I like to sleep. I like butterflies! Yay! Hi, I'm Lainey. I'm a literary critic, here to critique the timeless collection from a literary critic's point of view. So first, I want to tell you about the Pony Pal series. It covers themes such as friendship, relationships between human and animal, youth development, and animal welfare. So that's this series, that's what it's really about. These are what these books really are about. And then we've got the Saddle Club. And this series does a great job of using a parallel structure to go through these important issues in adolescent life through the lens of horses. We have Horse Thief, which is really around loss and grief. And as you might recall, Give Me Back My Pony in Pony Pals covers similar themes. So it's really interesting to see how these different series cover similar topics around loss and theft and stealing, having something and then losing it, and then wondering, was it ever really ours to begin with? That's what these books are all about. That's what these books are all about. And I'll take you to a third series about horses. Misty's Twilight and Stormy Misty's Foal. Now, you may look at these and read the back and think this is about wild ponies. And yes, you'd be right. And it's about freedom and liberation. And the horses are just a metaphor for our own freedom and wildness within. That's what these books are all about. That's what these books are all about.
I was at home, it was a Friday night. I watched Disney because that felt so right. My friends were calling me and I could have seen them. Then I kept watching TV. That's about the time I wasn't all like me. Nobody likes you when you act age 3, and they're still more consumed by TV shows. Can you tell me I'm not 3? Think I'm not acting my age? What's my age again? What's my age again? Later on, I wasn't at home. I called my mom from my cell phone. I said I was driving home and I'd be there soon. Don't stay up and wait for me. And that's about the time I acted like a teen. Nobody likes you when you're 17, and they're still asking not to miss curfew. What the hell is my curfew? I don't have these rules at my age. What's my age again? What's my age again? That's about the time my age dropped down for me. Around my parents I act like I'm 3, and you should act like you're 33. What is going on with me? Starting to forget my age. What's my age again? It's about the time I acted like a teen. It's like high school went to myself, I mean. How many years have gone by over time? Will you please explain to me? I don't know how to act my age. What's my age again? What's my age again?
So I made a choice that would make it easier for me to move on and move out. I got a puppy.
Aww.
I had no place, no plan, and no possibility of moving on the horizon. What I did have, a codependent puppy that pooped, peed, and played with a ball like it was a sugar snack in the hands of a sugar-suppressed child. It's not like a puppy bonds with everyone around it in its first months of life, even if those things are your parents' house, which you eventually want to move out of and bring said puppy with you. I had always loved dogs though. I was the kind of girl that rather than playing with Barbies and toy dolls, played with Breyer horses and toy puppy in my pockets. All right, everyone, I'm Tucker. As you know, I lead this town hall meeting once a month. It's very important that we all bring up any issues from our community. I got an issue with you running these meetings, Tucker. I'm Jack the Jack Russell, and I think I should be running these meetings because I have a lot of energy and I know how to chase things. I'd like to bring up an issue. This is Boucher. And I would like to talk about the sidewalks. They're very dirty and they're making my paws extra dirty. So it takes so much longer to clean them after I go for a stroll. I would like to motion to not allow Boucher to walk on the sidewalks. Problem solved. Hey, order. Let's get this thing in order. sheepdogs, and we agree on everything. No, we don't. Yes, we do. We agree on everything. No, we don't. Anyways, we wish there were more sheep in the neighborhood. I don't know if that's such a good idea. I don't really agree with that, if there's sheep. Certainly, we welcome creatures of all shapes and sizes. We are very inclusive and welcoming of other animals. Nay, nay, nay! Whoa! What are you doing here? This is our town council meeting. Yeah, sorry I'm late. I just got stuck by a train. You live here? Yeah, I'm new to the neighborhood. I'm Goalie, the golden horse. Oh, welcome, I guess. Hey, you just said that we're inclusive, and you didn't really welcome that horse very nicely. I think we should have rules around how we welcome people and what it means to be an inclusive society. Okay, well, what ideas do we have? And I would like more friendly sniffs, instead of the ones that are a bit aggressive. That would be quite pleasant. Okay, well, I think everyone heard that, so sniff properly. I think we should host parties with lots and lots of food. Maybe we allow people to have a spa day, or we take them on a tour of our beautiful town. Welcoming party, welcoming party. Bark if you agree. All right, welcome to the neighborhood. We're gonna throw a party for you. Great. Can all my friends come? Whoa! Whoa! Wow, that's a lot of horses.
The Napping House. Now, as you read this, you might think this book's about a bunch of people that just nap together and on top of each other. And you'd be right. That's what this book is about. And it's about peace and restoration and rest. And how do we rest in our lives? It's about what we do to bring napping into our house being our body and our own physical house that we're in.
There's one thing that living with your parents during a pandemic is bound to improve: your dating life.
Warning. Not being able to smell is a symptom of COVID-19. If you are experiencing lack of smell, please quarantine and get a COVID-19 test immediately.
'Cause you're living with your parents. When you want to lead a hinge, that idea makes you cringe. It's the only guy supply, 'cause you're living with your parents. A dating in person, kissing a man. All of these things were not part of the plan. Instead, you'll be tested to wait as long as you can. Your patience Though 2 years ago, if you told me this would happen, that I'd be living with my parents after over a decade of living on my own, I would have cowered into believing this is rock bottom. But actually, it's been such a gift. I've learned and grown so much, and I finally had the fire lit under my ass to get a therapist. For a while, I even had two. I don't know, sometimes it's just hard. I feel alone and isolated and like no one's there, and I just feel really lonely, you know? How many therapists does it take to process your past while living in your past? The answer is 2, plus horses. In this one, you'll probably recognize it's a classic. It's part of the 2 of a Kind series. This particular one is called One Twin Too Many. And this is really about relationships, friendships. How many friends is enough? How many friends do we really have? What qualities do we seek in friendships? And what qualities do we bring to friendships? That's what this book's all about. That's what this book is all about. I will be translating a poem about love. Love. Sinini no se seku inololi I mosemino. It's inevitable that children, as we grow up, we realize what we missed, what we didn't have, what kind of love we didn't receive. De is varinini na no se gal tanin. Then it's up to us to realize what we did have. Que fukinini I nana. What we focus on matters. I fukinini a nonani e tiki tiki. Nonani, nononi, no, no. If you focus on what's missing versus what you have, then all you'll be thinking about is what's missing and not what you have. Kleindo tani. Consider what you have. There's something that happens about the same time children are growing old enough to realize their parents made mistakes and didn't and still don't actually have all the answers, is when parents are realizing their kids are going to make their own decisions whether they like them or not, and there's nothing they can do about them. That's right, moms and dads. Someday, you will no longer control your kids' extracurricular schedules. Soccer practice, drama club, play dates with friends will become soccer game watches at bars, real life drama, and play dates with friends. Parents, you have one of 2 choices. You can get to know your kids as adults, or you can keep the relationship you had with them when they were 17 years old. Who wants to be friends with a 17-year-old? 17-year-olds don't even want to be friends with 17-year-olds. Thursday, January 5th, 2006, 9:35 p.m. Wow, writing in my diary before 10 o'clock. Necesito dormir. Did 6 a.m. yoga this morning, smiley face. Good Villanova beat Louisville in men's basketball tonight. I watched the game rather than work on homework. Oh well. Though I have the weekend, fortunately. Next semester is sure to fly by. Just gotta get over the hump, aka exams. Heart, Mary. Okay, so maybe I wasn't the run-of-the-mill 17-year-old. Heck, I started a business, set a record in pole vaulting. and graduated with more awards than Michael Phelps at the last Olympics. The only time I wanted to be friends with 17-year-olds was when I was 15, because the only thing worse than 17-year-olds are 15-year-olds. 17-year-olds are terrifying. I am still terrified of 17-year-olds. I'll be all cool and confident, then you put me in a room with 17-year-olds and I can't form complete sentences. High school teachers, how do you do it? After reading through my childhood journals, better understanding my childhood wounds, I started coming clean about my old feelings. We used to spend so much time together. Every week we'd go for a walk and meet someone new. You were supposed to pay for my college education. Why? No, you never explicitly said that you would. I guess I just assumed. I mean, it was kind of implied. I was taking such good care of you. Making sure you didn't get too worn out, helping to preserve your value. I mean, remember what happened to Princess Diana? Tragic. That time she lost her tag. Now, kids, I know it's tempting to blame your parents for not hugging you enough, hugging you too much, forgetting to pick you up from school that one time in the 5th grade, not coming to your basketball games, coming to your basketball games, making family dinners, not making family dinners, setting a curfew, not asking why you're home late, farting, not farting. Every horrible thing that's ever happened to you. But in order to be a real adult, you gotta stop doing that. And turn 18, because that's the formality. Do you want to be remembered for all and only the times you messed up? If you answered no, keep listening. If you answered yes, keep listening. Blaming your parents is like in kindergarten when Timmy tells you you're dumb, and then when you fail your math test, you blame Timmy. Don't blame Timmy. He's not the reason you failed your math test. You are. Also, Timmy, if you're out there, you're a stinky, smelly newt. Think about 3 things your parents did great. Write them down. Better yet, share them on Instagram and tag me. Your parents will think that your account got hacked. Finally, cybersecurity awareness. Also, remind your parents that every email they get from a prince asking for money is a scam. We're going to play an improv game called 3 Things. How this works is I'm going to share a prompt for 3 things. So like 3 things you don't want to find under your bed. And as quickly as possible, you're going to list the first 3 things you think about when I say that prompt, 3 things you don't want to find under your bed. For example, 3 things you don't want to find under your bed. Moldy cheese, dead mice, and candy wrappers. 3 things. All right, so now it's your turn. I'm going to share a prompt for 3 things, and as quickly as possible, list the first 3 things that come to mind. They don't have to be true. They just have to be the first 3 things that you think of. All right, here we go. 3 things your parents did well. 3 things you like about your parents. 3 funny things about your parents. All right, you did it. Thanks for playing this really fun improv game, 3 Things. Boy bands, horse books, this is how my life looked. Bookshelf, shag rug. That day's gone, the end, struggling with what's next. Simple life, a suffix. And maybe I still enjoyed these things, playing so carefree before I turned 30. us, 'cause I left home to a newer land. Go try to make a couple grand, and I return to what I left inside. Still sitting there, worn down like sand, to finally see from what I ran. I'm not too old to change up my mind. Ripped jeans, journals, tried to read and then choked. Farmhouse, small clothes. Flat change, school notes, teary-eyed and closed throat. Sad girl, alone. And maybe I still enjoy these things, playing so carefree before I turn 13. Lately, I feel myself wanting machine waiting, hoping to relive this dream, and I glean. It's where nothing in life means stress for us, and we're all leave to a newer land. Go out, try to make a couple grand. Will you return to what's still inside? Still sitting there, worn down like sand. Finally see from what you ran. We're not too old to change up our mind. Don't blame your parents. Blame your brain. You're the one telling yourself the story. Oh, my parents weren't around for me emotionally as a child. My parents didn't read me bedtime stories. My parents didn't teach me about relationships. My parents are the reason I fart so much. My parents didn't blah, 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 blah. Parents aren't thinking, ooh, if we don't say I love you in front of the kids, they'll grow up with attachment issues and never find true love. Mwahaha! Evil laugh. No, they're thinking, we're freaking tired and going to bed because our kids never stop running around wiping poop on the walls, and you already know I love you anyways. I don't need to say it. Even if you're following me here, that your brain is creating the issues, you might be thinking, but my parents made my brain. And to you I say, this is a comedy show, not a biology class. Also, what's this holding parents accountable to information we know now, but they didn't know then? Our parents didn't have Google. If they wanted to know how to change a diaper, they had to look it up in an encyclopedia. Or, better yet, ask their parents, who learned from their parents, who learned from their parents, who literally made it up because there was baby crap everywhere and it was getting gross. Expecting your parents to, 20 years ago, know what is only really conveniently knowable now is like you coming out of the womb and knowing how to divide fractions, write cursive, and buy a house. Whenever you have the urge to blame, I want you to think flame. After you blame, light a fire under your ass and do something about it. Study for your math test, stop dating jerks, or get a therapist to help you work through all the reasons why you date jerks, and listen to yourself. And don't literally light a fire under your ass unless you've successfully mastered doing a flaming coffee enema and live to tell the tale. You know who carries the burden of you being angry and blaming your parents? You do. Your parents will die and you'll be still blaming them for feeding you sugary cereals, and guess what? They won't care. They're dead. You, however, will walk around like the Grinch stole breakfast cereals and ruin breakfast for everyone. Like a bowl of miso soup from your favorite restaurant that carries miso soup but is out of shiitake mushrooms, let that shiitake go. Look, here's a way to look at it. Do you like yourself as you are today? If you said yes, then Who friggin' cares what happened to you in the past? You are where you are now, and you like that, so maybe a thank you versus a screw you is in order. And if you said no, well, to you I say, this is a comedy show, not a therapy session. If any of this resonated with you, will you do something for you? Text your parents. Better yet, call them. Say thank you. And to my parents, thank you for everything. I love you. You're like family to me.
Even when we leave dishes in the sink?
Yes, even when you leave dishes in the sink.
Even when we leave shoes right by the door and you trip over them?
Yes, even when you leave your shoes right by the door and I trip over them. Yes, even when you leave food too close to the counter and then my dog gets on the counter and eats an entire cake. Yes, even when you use scented perfumes, even though I've told you a zillion times I don't like scented perfumes, they give me a headache. Yes, even when I still love you. Hey Siri,
Uh-huh.
what's my favorite food?
One option is Maurizio's Mexican food on Adams Avenue. Do you want that one?
Hey Siri,
Hmm?
who can I trust?
I'm not sure I understand.
Neither do I. Hey Siri,
Uh-huh.
what's my job?
You'll need to unlock your iPhone first.
Hey Siri,
Uh-huh.
what's my age again?
I don't know your age.
Neither do I. And then we can solve the problem. Magi. Come on, Magi. I don't know. It just keeps happening, and I just don't know what to do about it. And my dog's always barking. Unless you successfully mastered doing a flamey. Though there's something that happens about the same time children are going. There's something that happens about the same time. There's something that happens about the same time children are going. That's right, Mommins. Do you want to be? I'd always loved dogs, though. I was the kind of girl that would rather play with Barb. You're my. You're just.